Hi everyone, it's your girl Hairbyrhema. Welcome to another YouTube video. As y'all can see in the title, today I'll be showing y'all how I did these 8 stitch all back cornrows. It's not an in-depth tutorial, but y'all can look at how I'm doing it, okay? Today I'm doing my girl Shauna's hair. She also has a hair page. Y'all can go follow her at _.that.main.avenue._ on Instagram. So yes guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's just get straight into this video. Okay guys, so the first step is pattern. Pattern is literally one of the most important things when it comes to hairdressing. Honestly, pattern was the one thing that used to give me the most trouble when I just started braiding. It still does give me a bit, it still is kind of tedious for me, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. So yes, pattern personally for me is something that is a bit harder. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is part my clients here into all the sections that the amount of corners that I'm going to do. So this particular style I'm doing 8 corners, so I'm going to part 8 small sections. This is gonna give me a guideline of how the hair is going to look when I actually start braiding. I'll see the size of each section, I'll see the size of each corner, I'll see how straight my parts are and stuff like that, right? Parting or back corners in particular, I think what gives me the most problem is adjusting to different head shapes, because obviously not everyone has the same head shapes. So yes, that's my first step, parting the 8 smaller sections and just putting them in some big ugly corners. It really doesn't even need to be corners. I personally just like to corner it just to see and make sure that my parts are straight, okay? Some people just twist it or braid the smaller sections, but this is what I like to do personally, is corner them. Now, in between each part, I like to apply my ORS jam or shine and jam or whatever product I'm using to comb the client's hair, and this is gonna help me because it helps me straighten the part easier. So after I part the section, I apply the jam and then I go back in with my comb and just straighten up my part. Alright, so as you'll see here, I'm finished parting out all 8 corners and I just corner them out. This gives me the guideline of how the client's hair is gonna look when I'm finished. Okay, so now getting into how I actually do my stitch braids. So first I take the section that I'm going to corner and I apply the product on both sides of the hair. I usually put a lot of product because it actually helps me to grip better personally. And then I'm going to take my pick comb and just comb over the product and try to get the hair to be in the position that I want it to be for when I start braiding the hair. I try to comb it as flat as I possibly can as well. Then I'm going to part out the front piece that I'm going to use to start the braid, and the remainder of the section I'm going to part that in half. Parting it in half helps me to know where I have to stop gripping when I'm actually doing these stitches. If you look here, I'm gonna show you what parting it in half does. So after I take my nail, because I don't use a comb or a tool, I actually use a stiletto nail on my index finger to do these stitches. So I do one stitch, and where you'll see is parted down the middle, that's where I'm going to grip stop, and that's where I'm going to grip the first stitch. And then I put my first piece of braid in here, do the second stitch and stop in the middle where I parted the section, and that's what the amount of hair that I'm going to be holding up. Now when I'm doing my feedings, I feed in from the left side. Some people is more comfortable for them to feed in on the right side, but personally for me, I feed in on the left. Now when you're doing stitch braids, the amount of hair that you're feeding in is way less than the amount you would feed in when you're doing a normal all back corner. stitch cornrows are different from normal all back cornrows. With all back cornrows, you want a certain thickness, but with stitch cornrows, in order to see the stitch and the neatness of the stitch, you want to use less hair so that the braid itself, the cornrow itself, is a bit thinner. So as I mentioned before to y'all, this is not an in-depth stitch cornrow tutorial, but it's just that so y'all will see exactly how I do it when I'm doing stitch corners. Okay, so y'all can try to learn from this, but if you can't, let me know in the comments down below if y'all actually want an in-depth stitch cornrow or an in-depth feeding cornrow tutorial, and I will do it for you guys. Okay, so that's all for now with me talking in the video, doing this voiceover. I know y'all hate my annoying voice, so I'm just gonna let y'all look at the process, and later down in the video I will come back and show you how I do my finishing touches when I'm doing my clients' hair. Okay, so I actually forgot to tape what I put in the client's hair for my finishing touches while I was doing it. So I'm just showing you all the products I use. I use my Vigor mousse. I use this hair salon spray that I bought in Pennywise, and then I oil my client's scalp with olive oil and castor oil. After I applied all that, I take my Magic Finger Studio Shine and Jam finishing spray and I just spray that throughout the client's hair. Then I take my Kiss Edge Fixer Max Hold Edge Control and do my client's edges. Then I use my Rapid Paper just to hold on my client's edges until I'm finished dipping the hair. Now the last step is dipping the ends of the braids in hot water. A lot of my clients tend to ask why hairdressers dip the ends of the hair in hot water. It's really just to stop the hair from sticking up. The hot water actually helps the hair to fall nicer and flat, and it also helps with the ends for it not to unravel. So guys, that is all for today. This was the finished product. This was how I got these 8 stitch corners all backs. I am so in love with how this came out. So yes, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you all in the next one. Bye.